everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So happy new year firstly, and hope everybody had a great Christmas and festive season. Hope you spent lots of time with your family. This is my first video back. I took a couple weeks off because my fiance was here. I did pre-film a bit, but then for the new year I didn't want to put anything out that I had pre-filmed. I just wanted to start fresh. So this is our first video of 2025. Hopefully this year is a good one for both myself and all of you. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see by the title, we're doing the beginning of the year book tag. I've always wanted to do this. That's why I did one in December for the end of the year book tag, because I had a little bit more insight of books, and yeah, I was just very excited to participate. So the same goes to this one. I didn't know this tag was going around, and I saw a couple of videos on YouTube, so I thought might as well try it out because I haven't really started any reading vlogs yet. So I thought this would be a nice way just to segue into our year. Let's go ahead and answer some questions. Firstly, I did get the idea from Belle Therese or Therese. I don't know how to pronounce the second name. She's fairly newer on YouTube. I think she comes from TikTok, but I saw her do it and I got this idea from her. She got it from Larry, who's also a very big booktuber, so credit to them. I'm just jumping on the train here. The first question we have is, how many books do you plan to read this year? So last year my reading goal was actually 70 books and I ended up reading 103. So how I normally do my reading goals is I take it off of what I achieved the year before. The year before that I had 48 books and I did 65, so naturally after reading 65 books I made it 70, and then I read 100 books. So this year, well, I actually read 103, and then this year we are upping it to 100. I'm not 100% sure I can reach that goal this year because, like I said in many videos, I am getting married in a few months, or a couple of months even. So I don't know how much time I will be able to dedicate to this channel or reading. I'm going to try and pre-film as much as I can, but no promises. But I am going to try my hardest. This year so far, I've already read only 3 books. I'm reading I don't know what the series is called, but it's the Glow of the Air. No, what is the Everflame one? I can't remember what it's called. I know the second one's called Glow of the Everflame, and then Heat of the Everflame, which I'm just finishing up now. It is 1,000 pages, completely unnecessary, and this is so irrelevant. I don't know if I'm going to achieve that goal, but I will see how we do this year, and then I can always lower my goal next year. But for now, we're reaching for the stars and we're going for 100 books. Question number 2 is, which books do you plan to reread this year? So I've thought long and hard about this question because there are a few books that are really popular that I actually dislike, and I want to give them another chance, just because I think a strong reason for me not liking books like that is because either I am slumpy or a book hangover, or I'm just reading books when I'm not in the mood for that genre. So that can seriously affect the way I rate my book, obviously, and how I feel about the book going into it. So the first book here I have is Daisy Hate. I can't remember the booktuber's name. Her name's Kayla, but it's like Lala Reads or something like that. And she's busy reading the Magnolia Parks series as well. And she actually liked this book. So I thought to myself, she's not a romance reader at all. She reads a lot of like thriller and horror. So I thought maybe I need to give this another chance because I love the Magnolia Parks side of things, but I don't love the Daisy Hates. It's actually in my bottom for 2024. So I think I'm going to give this another chance. I did get, you'll see in an upcoming haul, I did get the 3rd book in the series, but I think I need to give it another chance. I've actually wanted to read this book since I read it. So it was originally a soft DNF, and then I finished it and I gave it a 2.5 star. It just made me feel dumb. Like, I didn't think Dark Academia was so academic. A lot of the times I just felt dumb and I didn't really understand, and not the words, but the names she called things, like it just felt a little bit out of my grasp. But now that I know kind of the plot line, I think I might enjoy the book a little bit more. So I think some point this year we will reread this. I might do a video rereading all of these that I am speaking about right now. There's only one more that I will mention after this, and maybe it will change my rating. I'm not entirely sure, but it was really difficult to get through. Then lastly is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This was a recent read for me. I probably read this in November if I'm not mistaken, and I didn't love it. I gave it a 3 star because I love the little glimpses of romance you got in it, because I do like romantasy. The whole storyline just felt, I don't know how to describe it, but it didn't feel enough. I felt like I needed more. I needed a little bit more description, a little bit more world building, a little bit more of everything. Like, we got a lot of the character and the monster in her head, and maybe it is more of like a character study on her, but I just felt like not enough was given for me. I think I gave this a 3-star, and I can't understand how everybody else loved this book so much more. I love the concept of their magic system, but I felt like it wasn't fleshed out enough. Question number 3 is a priority read for you on your TBR for 2025. We should all guess this, but definitely need to finish the ACOTAR series. I haven't done a December wrap-up. There's not many weeks left of this month anyway, so I only have like 2 proper videos planned till the end of the month. So beginning of Feb, I'll definitely round up my December and January reads. The point I was making about my roundup is I read A Court of Frost and Starlight, and I gave that a 4.5 star. Really loved it, even though it was a novella. It just gave us a glimpse into what everyday life would look like when they're not at war. This is the final book in the ACOTAR series. I am dying to finish it. I want to know what happens. She is a tome, but I cannot wait to see what this book is about. I know that it says Nesta's point of view, so I wonder how I would feel about that, because I really did love Vera as a character. We'll see, but this is definitely high up there as a priority. Another priority for me is definitely finishing the Shatter Me series. I started it back in December 2022. I still haven't completed it. I think I've read 3 books so far. Definitely a priority. I have 3 of them with me right now, and the rest are in the UK with my partner. So when he comes back for the wedding, I think I might ask him to bring the rest of the series, because I need to complete it. It's taken me a year now just to read the 3 of the books. So definitely high up there as a priority. I am already reading her other series, which is over there, which is part of the Swerven Kingdom. I do have the complete series as well, but I don't really want to continue until I finish Shatter Me. Question number 4. This is a very juicy one. Quite spicy. An author you won't be reading more of this year. So as you know, I'm quite new to the book community. I only started seriously reading again, I guess, in 2022. I was adding some videos of my reading experience on my makeup channel, which was clashing kind of with my algorithm. So I moved it over to this page, which I started maybe a year ago now. So I haven't had an extensive reading list. I usually read like 50 to 60 books a year, but this year, like I said, I read 100. So I have a broader spectrum of authors and books and genres I've been reading. Sometimes I just feel like an author just isn't for me. You can just feel it, like the way they write and the sentence structures and the book format. And unfortunately, there are just some things that I now realize I don't particularly like. The author that I am adding first on this list is Ruth Ware. I read one of her books, and I've watched extensive videos about her and her books, and a lot of people have thought the same thing. It's just boring. It's not a thriller. There's too much detail. It's just a little bit too much. So I literally, I'm swearing that off for this year. And then, controversial as it might be, Emily Henry. Unfortunately, I just don't gel with her writing. I found it really boring. I don't think that it's necessarily romance. It's more like general fiction, and I know for a fact I don't like general fiction. A lot of people love all the prose and everything about Emily Henry. I didn't feel it. I was bored to tears, and it took me ages to read Happy Place. I still have it on my shelf somewhere, but it wasn't my favorite. So I think I'll just lay Emily Henry to rest, because she is not my favorite. Question number 5. A popular book you want to read this year. I don't know if you know this about me, but I definitely struggle to read popular book talk viral books, because a lot of the time I do not have the same opinion, and it is hard to come into the internet and admit to that. This book I've been swearing off for the longest time, and I think it's by time that I just suck it up and read it, and that is Fourth Wing. I don't know why, I just had this feeling like it was not going to be for me, and the hype is just too much around it, and for me that's a deterrent completely. I think now is time. The 3rd book in the series, which is called Onyx something, is coming out this year, so I might as well just try it out and see how it feels. I don't know how else to explain that, but that's definitely one that I'm looking forward to trying. Anticipated new releases for 2025. I don't have a lot. I went through the list on Goodreads, and then one on Amazon and one on just like Google, just to check what is going on. But I don't read a lot of romance. I don't mind if it's adult romance, any romance. I'm not really particularly drawn to anymore. I'm just too old for that, honestly. There's a lot of new like romance releases, but I haven't seen anything else that I really am enticed by. But there are a couple, obviously. There's one called The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I can't remember the release date, but I will add it on the screen. That looks really, really interesting. Like I said, I don't love One Dark Window, but I'm looking forward to Two Twisted Crowns because apparently it ties everything up really nicely. But I'm looking forward to another book by her and see what she does. And then obviously Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I didn't think I would love the Powerless series. After reading the first book, I was like, meh, not my favorite. I felt like she stole a lot of ideas, or stole isn't the right word. I take it back. She took inspiration from a lot of other books, and I didn't particularly like that. I just thought it was overhyped once again. But then I moved on to Powerful and Reckless. Absolutely fell in love with those books. Reckless was almost a 5-star for me. It was a 4.5 or 4.75, I want to say, but absolutely loved it. The banter, the development between the two characters, I absolutely loved it. So definitely looking forward to that. The next question is a bookish goal that I have for 2025, and I thought about this, and there's like loads. Like, I would like to buy less books, but I can't keep this channel afloat if I'm not buying books. So yeah, that's not realistic, and I do have a problem. I definitely do have a problem. If I see a bookstore, I have to go in, and if I go in, I definitely have to come out with something, even if it's just one book. I'm just at that point in my life where books are really, really important, and it's how I enjoy my pastimes. That's not realistic. So my goals are, I don't have a lot, but realistically for me, getting married and my life's gonna slightly change a little bit. These are realistic to me. So I do want to post more bookish shorts. I tried a couple times, but my channel's tiny. Little itty bitty. They don't do as well as I intend to do, and because I come from like more of the makeup side of things, like what works for on a makeup channel doesn't necessarily work on a book channel. So I'd love to come up with a little bit more creative ideas and post a little bit more of shorts. I also would like to maybe start vlogging on this channel. My life's kind of boring at the moment because I'm just biding time until the wedding, like just doing all these things. It's not vloggable. I'm not confident vlogging outside the home anyway, and just vlogging from home, I'm not sure if that's very, very interesting, but let me know what you guys think. Then we have to read more actual fantasy. I love romantasy. I've gotten to that point now where romantasy is probably my favorite genre at the moment, but I'd love to read more like proper full-on fantasies like Brandon Sanderson and stuff. I would love to get into that because it seems interesting, and when I watch other people's review, it seems very intriguing to me, but I haven't yet stepped over that boundary. The last goal is I really want to get some new bookshelves. Like, this one was great when I didn't have a lot of books, but I'm running out of space, running out of place to put my decos. That's another little goal I have. I don't know how attainable that is, since like I said, I'm getting married and I'll probably be moving. So don't know how attainable that is, but that's definitely on the cards for me. Then we have a book that has been on your TBR and you probably won't read. So a few years ago, I bought a bunch of these books from Asda in the UK. They have a book section, and it was really affordable. I think they were like £3 or something, and it's all like Disney retellings, and it even has the Disney inscription there. It's called Mirror Mirror, and it's a twisted tale. What if the evil queen poisoned the prince? So like I said, it is a retelling, and I've tried now twice, I think, and I can't get past chapter 2. Like, the writing just doesn't grasp me, but it's still on my TBR because I want to read it, because everybody knows how much I love Disney. I'm a proper Disney adult, but this is not gripping enough for me. But I probably won't read it, but I really do want to try at some point. Then series that I want to read this year. Obviously, like I said, I want to finish the ACOTAR so that I can start Throne of Glass. I do have the first 3 books. However, I was going to buy the entire series, but I don't know if I will like it. So I'm going to start it and we'll see what happens or what I think about it. Definitely want to start that this year. I also want to start, I don't know if it is actually a name for the whole series umbrella, but it's the Belladonna series. So it is Belladonna, Foxglove, and Wisteria. I really want to get into that. I have the first 2 books here. I was going to get the third, but unfortunately they have only the really tall one, which doesn't go with the series that I already have on hand. So I'm going to lay off on that for a while, but I definitely want to start that. But I can't start a new series until I've finished what I have. I have a few series still hanging in the balance there, but I definitely will do a video explaining all the series I'm in the middle of currently and the ones that I either won't finish or whatever. I definitely will do a video like that because I am literally constantly starting new series but never finishing them. The last one is Lunar Chronicles, which I spoke about Cinder so many times last year, by Marissa Meyer, and I really want to finish the series. I've only read the first book and I think there's 4 or 5 books in the series, so definitely want to finish that as well. Next question is a book to film adaptation that you're looking forward to this year. The Housemaid. That's the one that stuck out the most to me. I don't know what else is coming out, but I just know it was talked about very widely on TikTok. I know that Sydney Sweeney is going to be in it, and Amanda Seyfried, I don't know how to pronounce her surname, but that's going to be so exciting. I cannot wait. And I think Sydney Sweeney is playing Millie, so very, very, very excited for that. I have to wait an entire year till that comes out, so December 2025 is when it comes out, but very, 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 very excited for that. Next question is a sequel that you're anticipating this year. I don't know if anybody knows this book. I've seen a couple of people read it on my Goodreads, but I haven't seen a widespread of people read it, and it's A Tribute of Fire by Soraya, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Soraya Wilson. I love this book. I read it in December and I gave it a 4.5 star for, I don't know if it's her debut novel, but it was amazing. I almost swore. It was absolutely amazing. I was hooked. I listened to it on audiobook. It is free on Kindle and it was great. I absolutely loved it. Left on a cliffhanger and I just couldn't wait for the next book, but it's only coming out in July, and that one is called A Vow of Embers. So very, very excited. I will speak about that book a little bit more in my wrap up, but for now, just know it is so good. And if you do have a Kindle, download it. It's so good. 3 more questions left. The next one is what to expect from your channel this year. I think I kind of described it enough already. I am getting married this year. I want to include a little bit of vlogs on this channel, maybe do 2 uploads a week, but we'll have to wait and see. But other than that, I'm hoping that you can just expect some consistency from me, because this is my second channel, so I wasn't focusing on it as hard, but the amount of love and passion I have for books, I can't imagine not doing it now. So definitely a little bit more consistency from me. I am hoping to also set up my other camera so I can do more like B-roll shots. So I don't know. I'm hoping to just get better at this now, like, because I only have like 45 or 46 subscribers, so with growth I think we can improve a little bit more things, but for now I don't think much will change on my channel for this year besides consistency. The second last question is, how's your book taste evolved from last year to this year? And I want to say that when I went into 2024, I had just been introduced to romantasy. I started ACOTAR. I did try to read The Cruel Prince, but absolutely hated that book. It's changed me. ACOTAR has changed me. I absolutely love romantasy now. Like I said, I'm busy reading the book about the Everflames. I just need to check what it's called because it's gonna irk me now. Spark of the Everflame. So I started the Spark of the Everflame series, and again, romantasy, absolutely love it. Definitely have broadened my taste, shall I say? So definitely broadened that a little bit. So more romantasy. I've actually read less thrillers in the last like year or so than I did before. Usually I was like thriller through and through, but at the moment I'm not reading anything that actually like grips me or makes me feel much. Like I did spooky season, I did 30 days just reading thrillers, and nothing really got me. There was one book that I absolutely loved and scared me to the core, which was A Book of You by Claire Kendall. Absolutely loved that book, but thrillers have just gone downhill for me. I used to also read a lot of non-fiction. Tried Britney Spears. It should be behind me somewhere. Honestly, what was that book? I don't think she was ready to write a book at the time. I'm just mostly focusing on mysteries, and I love YA mysteries for some reason. I just find them so entertaining. I love YA dystopian, which is always been one of my favorite genres, and then obviously just a lot more fantasy. Last question. There were a couple more on their videos, but because I don't have such an extensive experience on YouTube, BookTube, or any of those type of things, I kind of cut out the irrelevant questions. But the last question I wrote down was booktubers that you watch that inspire you. I have 4 here that are my absolute favorites. I don't know if it's everybody's favorites or if you've heard of them, but they are amazing. If you don't follow them, I would really suggest you do. So I have Ellen Catherine. She is from the UK. She's absolutely amazing. The videos are very concise. Like, she doesn't faff around. She doesn't add too much b-roll. It's kind of just what you see is what you get, and I absolutely love that about her, and I strive to be like that. I don't want too much b-roll and pretty things. I want to talk about books. That's why I love Ellen Catherine. Then Rachel Catherine, she's from Australia, absolutely love her. Again, she adds more b-roll, but it's very relaxing. She doesn't like go out a ton, and she does a lot of things from home, and I just relate to her a lot, so definitely one of my faves. Then I have Madison Kate. She's fairly new to me, but also new on YouTube. I think she's only been on YouTube for a year, but she's absolutely amazing. The way she talks and just her mannerisms, I absolutely love her. I could watch all of her videos on repeat. Absolutely cannot recommend her enough. And then the last one is Just Ali. Also, again, she's great. I love her personality. She's kind of a little bit more like juvenile and full of energy, and is constantly, you know, so excited about things. She gets me excited about books, and whenever I watch her videos, I immediately want to pick up a book afterwards. So would recommend. That is everything for today. I hope it wasn't so long, because I know my end of the year book tag was absolutely a nightmare to edit because it was so long. Thanks all of you for sticking with me. I hope that you stick with me for the rest of the year too. I'm pretty sure bigger and better things will come our way. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please, it would help me out so much. Let's get to 500 subscribers. Also, please click the little bell icon so you can get notifications every time I upload. If I do go to 2 uploads a week, then it will automatically show you on your subscriber list. With that being said, thank you so much. Hope everybody has a great year. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I have a lot of changes coming. Like I said, I am getting married. I'm probably gonna move. There's just so much happening. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next week. Bye, guys.